Hi to everybody and their neighbor. Welcome back to Gear and Gigs. I am, of course, your host, Jetstone. So glad that you could stop by yet again today. With us today in the virtual studio, we have two people. One is a cat who will make himself known occasionally with a serious meow. You just won't believe it. And the other is my good friend, Reggie Elson. How you doing, Reg?
Hello, Jet. How are you?
I'm obviously fine. I'm always fine. Even if I wasn't, as far as you know, I'm fine.
That's what I've been told.
I'm fine. I'm doing great. As
Excellent.
always, glad to be hanging out with our TV family out there. Nice to see you guys, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
And I got to tell you guys, I've been chomping at the bit for a week for what you have hidden under your magic blanket back there. You know that, right? You know.
And I'm glad you called it a blanket and not my magic skirt. So
right. Well, I mean, it's a magic. It's more than a magic hanky, though. You know what I mean? It's not quite a blanket. And you wouldn't call it a towel because a magic towel doesn't make sense.
No, you don't want to. This is the magic blanket. I'll go with magic blanket. That's what this is. This is it. Yes. We've got something pretty interesting for sure. That's the only word I can use to describe it at this juncture. It's a fascinating. Oh, there's a second one. Fascinating guitar pedal. I'll tell you that. It's guitar pedal. Now I know how you feel about pedals. You just love them.
I never use them.
An open mind about pedals.
I would never even consider using a pedal because they're so.
Yeah, said the guy who's had more pedals than MXR. Let's talk about my
yes. Let's talk about what's under your magic blanket.
What I've got here is something that you may or may not have seen before. If you've seen it before, you probably haven't heard it.
I definitely haven't owned it.
You would have told me for sure.
This
is the kind of thing you tell people about. So I'm gonna do the big unveil.
Yay!
We'll give it
ready.
A listen.
Okay, I'm so ready for this.
All right. What do you?
With you, I never know. That's the thing, and that's what I love about this. It's like in life, I'm not a big fan of surprises, but it's a Delorean time machine.
It's a DeLorean.
But it's a pedal?
It is, in fact, it's a DeLorean time machine called the Delayrean. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera, so Reg. It is, in fact, an extremely detailed DeLorean.
Yeah, it is.
DeLorean. It has the Mr. Fusion reactor because, of course, that was attached in 2015, so that's actually old hat now. It has had the repulsor lift modifications, so it can in fact fly. So here's the interesting thing, and
it's already fascinating because you're right. I have never heard of or seen this in my life.
Delayrean, yes, and as you can see, they've worked the knobs. The Mr. Fusion is actually a knob. The jacks are on the top, and this happens to hit at another interest of Reggie's. He's a huge die-cast lover, so this is a very nice die-cast, not plastic.
Yeah, that's what you call multifunction right there.
Even down to the wires on the back. All right. So he's withholding judgment. I like that. So we're going to go ahead and put the cords in. There's that cat I warned you about.
Yeah.
All right. Now the jack. The power jack is the exhaust. Man. The power jack is the exhaust, so you can't be...
Okay. Of course.
The headlights work.
Yeah, of course.
And needless to say, the
taillights work,
yeah. Of course.
It's amazing. The whole thing, amazing. This is the biggest, you asked me to try to guess. How the hell would I have ever even... I bet there's a die-cast DeLorean that somehow has some kind of amazing delay circuit built into it.
Oh, speaking of which, when you turn the delay on... What?
That's it, I'm done. Where's that log me out button?
That's it. Thanks for joining us on our career here at Gigs. There's nothing left to talk about. We've seen it all.
I mean, seriously, all right. I have a host of questions because I know, and I really want to hear it, obviously. But at this point, I'm more curious about the pedal itself than I even care about how good a delay it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a keeper, even if it makes no sound, right? I mean, obviously,
the worst delay pedal in the history of all delay pedals. A noisy, obnoxious, can't keep time, just horrible thing, and doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter. Because you can roll it, or you can flatten it out so it doesn't.
Put that on a shelf and just go, yeah, I got that. I got one of those.
Yeah.
All right, so question number one, how many of these
and
have been made?
It's hard to tell.
Like a mass-produced.
Oh, no, there's limited hand-milled, one at a time.
How many? Do you know how many?
I don't, but it's not many. I mean,
I would imagine
it's not thousands. I mean,
No, I would be surprised if it was more than a dozen or so. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's by a company called VVco or VVco. I'm not sure which it is.
I don't know them either.
Look at VVco pedals. That's where they'll be. They make a host of interesting other pedals that may or may not make it to this program. I don't want to talk about them and blow it, but they make some cool pedals and. At least looking wise. I'm not going to say anything about the sound because we haven't heard it. Right. That's hard to tell in this camera. The folks at home can see it on the close-up shots. But for you, all this external lighting that came on here for the pedal itself is blue. Is a very bright.
I kind of can see that a little bit. The headlights look like white light, and then the delay adds a blue to it.
It's just awesome.
You're right, because it is. It's awesome. It looks like it's a mile away. But I mean, as soon as I saw it, I knew it's big enough where I recognized it as a DeLorean time machine. But and then I assumed, of course, that it would have some kind of circuitry in it. But who would have?
You're sold now.
How would I have ever guessed? I mean, there's no way I would in a million years if you got 46,000 chances and I would give you 46,000 failing. Guesses. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
But now, if somebody asked you, you're gonna be like,
"I'm like, yeah, no."
DeLorean?
Okay. And I can go, "Oh yeah, we have one of those at the studio."
That's how we roll. All right, I'm gonna go turn on our 2-Rock Studio Pro 35 or Studio 35 Pro, I think, actually. That's going to be our amp of choice for today. Mic'd up with, you can see it right there, the old 2-Rock cabinet with a vintage tube mic on there. Going into our trusty Focusrite. I'm using, I think it's an SSL replica in the liquid channel today. A little different. It's a little, just less coloration, a little cleaner, and going into our Digico board for our A to Ds. I also have a head rush looper down here, a looper board that I'm going to be using maybe to kind of show off how the thing sounds, the pedal, the Delayrean sounds within a mix. So that's going to be a new addition to our show occasionally.
And don't forget to mention that the music provided by the loop is a rockin' little number.
It's a rockin' little number. Yes, it's just something I threw together, but we like it, so don't steal it. We're going to do something with it, maybe. The guitar I'm going to be using today will be one that Reggie has not seen before.
Oh, a 3-pickup SG.
3-pickup SG.
Is that an artist model or what do we have here?
I forget what they call it. A deluxe, a custom. I honestly.
That's a nice looking top too. Look at that.
It's kind of a pretty top. It's a cherry red.
Yeah.
Kind of a candy apple red, almost a cinnamon, but more of a red. And yeah. All right, so we will go with our dry signal first, as always. So there's our bridge. There's our neck. Okay, so there's our sound. Not too bad on noise. I know, right? Every time, right?
I am so ready for this. It doesn't matter now. I mean, it's going to be fabulous no matter what it does. It's just going to be fabulous. And if it's actually an awesome delay on top of that, if it's something that really sounds magical and, what all that stuff, then holy moly, what a winner. Nothing wrong with that. All right, I have questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know all these answers too because you own a freaking Delorean delay pedal. That sounds to me like an analog bucket brigade kind of delay. Is it digital?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. They didn't tell you. Okay. Well,
They didn't tell me. Here's the specs. It's hand built and uses 9 volts.
Okay. And what are the controls on the delay? Was it delay time and feedback?
Yep. Just
nothing
standard
else?
stuff. Nothing
Okay.
exciting. I know.
And how long of a
It sounds
delay can
analog
you
to
get on
me.
it? Yeah, but it's not a second long.
I don't have it its longest setting.
Okay, go put it on its longest setting, just out of curiosity, real quick, just to see.
I'm not sure which control is which, but I think that's the fusion reactor. That seems what, 600?
Yeah, but still not a second. So that kind of lends me to think that it maybe is an analog delay, like a carbon copy. Memory boy. It's very nice.
It's not unpleasant in any
No.
way.
It's very nice.
If you wanted something brighter, you can get things that are brighter. But as far as like,
Yeah, no, I love actually how quickly it fades. The volume fades on each trail.
it's real musical.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next question is on the feedback. Like, will it go? Can you get it into full-on oscillation?
So is that the feedback? Let me see. One's the dry volume, one's the wet volume. I don't see a feedback.
Okay.
I don't see feedback control. So you can get only effect if you want. I am getting a little crackling on that pot right. Oh no, I think that's yeah, just a little crackling on that pot right there. But you can get all wet if you want.
Bit of noise with the dry.
So it's a set feedback, just a mix. And then times.
And of course, the less you have it mixed in, the less feedback you got. Fades so quickly. Interesting.
So hard to get a straight slapback. You just basically set it so you just hear the first one.
Okay.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
the lower setting it can't.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like a pretty simple analog delay, which has its analog problems, but it sounds great.
See, it sounds like I'm messing with a fusion, Mr. Fusion reactor. Well, it's just fun.
There's no doubt about that. It's
But just for your basic.
it's a very basic delay. There's nothing wrong with it. It kind of exemplifies the kind of the motto that you and I share, and a lot of us in our circle is, well, yeah. When someone goes, well, what kind of delay pedal do you use? Well, it depends. Like I wouldn't just have one delay pedal. Multiple delay pedals for different, right? And this is So this is one of those deals where even before you got it, there's plenty of delay pedals in the studio. But none of them look like a Delorean.
Now, I do have some reverb on, so let me turn the reverb off. The reverb is on the board. It was left over from the last time we did a show. So let me turn the reverb off because, I want to hear the delay just totally by itself. It's still pleasant. It's still nice.
Yeah, I know. It sounds great.
Yeah, I really like it.
Not the most versatile delay you'll ever have, or whatever. But like I said,
but it travels in
you're gonna
time.
have right. It's a DeLorean. I mean,
It's a DeLorean.
It's not something that you would stick Velcro on and try to take it out to a bar or anything like that. However,
Although, think how cool it would look to have that on your board and then you step on it and it lights up. I don't know, man. Taking it out live might be really cool.
yeah,
Turn it on the headlights or
First night out, it gets stolen. Someone would drive off with it, and then they leave that time period, and you'd never find it.
You'd never be able to find it. It's not where did it go. It's when did my pedal go? About 10 minutes. Some guy grabbed it and ran out of here. Let's listen to it with some distortion, because one of the things I found in pre-testing, which is not something I normally do, but
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely, I would.
what am I going to wait a couple of weeks? No,
Right.
I had to do it right away. But is that unlike a lot of delays, if you put it on the front end with distortion, it sounds amazing. Not
Yeah.
just I can make it work, but it incorporates more seamlessly with the sound. It sounds like more old albums. I'm probably playing good, like some Rush chords here, because to me it starts to get that echoplex sort of a thing that he would get going sometimes with his amp, where it was like he was playing the echo too, and it sounded like almost another guitar as opposed to an echo or something. Okay.
Let's just take a second to say how that Two Rock amp sounds pretty nice too. Let's give that some kudos.
Two Rock. We love Two Rock here. All right. I had my my room mic on. I got to switch down here for my room mic so I don't have to do the big lean. So I'm going to turn that off and then establish the basic tones out of the amp and the guitar, and then we'll we'll travel.
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking that before you started doing it.
I'm going to toss a little reverb on there.
I was gonna say I liked it earlier with the reverb. Yeah.
musical all the time.
It's very, yeah, it's absolutely nothing. I've nothing, like, again, I'm not going to jump up and down and go, oh my God, that's the craziest, wildest delay I've ever heard in my life. Because obviously it isn't. But then again, there's absolutely nothing negative to say about it. It sounds fantastic. It does what it does. It does that one delay sound, and that's a good musical, very nice and kind of easy flowy. And I love how the repeats just, they seem to fade naturally. It doesn't sound like a step. It's not stepping down.
That's a good way to say that, yeah.
It's kind of, it almost sounds like there's a LFO turning a volume knob down as they trail off. Like very anyway, yes. So and I know we're not done playing with this yet, and we got things that we're going to experiment with, but I'm just going to tell you right now, like I said before we started, even if that was the worst delay ever, that pedal is a winner. It is a total winner. And it actually does have the cherry on top because it has a very useful, usable delay in it.
Its party piece to me is that it works so well in front of a distorted amp.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because that's hard to find, that where it doesn't overpower it or stay too grainy or whatever. And it's whatever the roll-off or cut-off that they're using on this just works with the distorted amp really nicely. I mean, let's try to listen to the initial hit and see if it's significantly different. So the dry signal has on this end, the dry signal's got a bit more bottom end, just a bit more, so it rolls off a little bit at the bottom.
All right.
Which maybe that's one of the reasons it works so well. You never have to worry about it stepping on you.
No, it's just there, and it just does its thing. And I mean, it's almost like, well, I mean, not almost like it's like you put reverb on stuff, and then you never think about that, right? You don't think about there's reverb on this, right? You just, that's what it sounds like, and that's kind of what this is. It's like you put that on and you just play, and you're not thinking, oh my God, you know, like I gotta tame that delay, I gotta rein that in. That's kind of crazy. And you know what's funny is when you were talking about the difference in the attack, I leaned in as if I was going to be able to hear it better.
No, that's how that works.
I'll get closer and
that's how computers work.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so what I'd like to do is get the head rush looper going on, and let's see how this all fits into a track.
The delay will only be on the guitar you're playing live, and the rest of the track will be obviously unaffected.
Right, the rest of the track's unaffected, going in separately. I'm not going into the head looper board at all. It's just playing back some tracks that I recorded earlier.
Okay,
so we can play on top of it.
Yes, that's what I should have assumed.
I just don't hate that a lot.
There's nothing to hate about that. Like I said, that's just it's like, it kind of reminds me of something like a carbon copy or something like that. It's just a good delay that does what it does, and it'll go as long as analog will allow it.
It's got a personality, though. For me, some of them, they disappear, but they disappear. They don't have the character. This, like, it's not just an echo of it. It somehow is like a clone of it. Yeah. I said it. And I'm standing by it, right next to it. Like,
I got to digest that, because that's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. To me, it's got a character, irrespective of if it looked like just a gray box, I would still keep it because I like the sound of that.
It could suck, and you should still keep it, but it doesn't.
Either side, I'd keep it for the way it sounds, and I'd keep it for the way it looks.
Right. And when you get both, it's just
it's a no-brainer.
It's what you want. Yeah, but it is. It's just and it does, because it has that warmth to it. It feels natural. It's not, and I'm in no way putting down the more cold and sterile digital type delays that.
Right. We like all delays.
Crazy stuff that they can do.
Most delays.
I mean, you'd be fool not to have at least a couple of each, right?
If I was gonna pick a delay for a clean, pristine sort of thing, I wouldn't pick this one. If I wanted something that sounded classic rock, this is a go-to.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
It kind of has that, almost tape quality to it.
It does have it. It's like a tape without the modulation.
Mm-hmm, without the wobble, yep.
But I don't really miss it because the roll-off keeps sounding so tapey and pleasant. It just sounds pleasant.
Right. Yeah, it does. I agree. I agree 100%. And the fact that it's housed in a die-cast Delorean with lights that light up, and I mean,
the
that
lights,
doesn't, yes, that does it make a difference in my opinion of the delay unit? It does not. I can absolutely separate the two. The delay unit by itself, it's a good, if you didn't spend a fortune on it, right?
It does not sound like a $500 delay. No.
It's a great little delay pedal that I would keep. But the fact that not only is it a great sounding delay, but it's also housed as it is, and in a limited edition of one, because that's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, they are hand wired. Take a guess on the price.
You know what? That would have to be. I mean, if it was anything under $500, I'd be surprised.
It's under $200.
See, that surprises me.
Yeah.
Under $200, and it's metal diecast.
Well, the prices just went up now that you've said that, and he went, "Oh my God!" But yeah, under $200. Here's the current price. I'll flash it on the screen. Let's do our surprise face. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, just really well priced. It's just, once again, even for a diecast that lit up, I'd consider that.
Right.
I'd ask for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking. Is like, some of those diecast cars, if they're really done right, and especially the bigger ones that are solid, they're not cheap either.
No. Yeah. And actually, from the front, when you look in where the lights are arranged, there actually looks like there's light near the flux capacitor. So it's the detail. There's little wires on the end. It's really well done. One word of caution: if you're going to use it as a pedal on the floor,
I would never.
Well, if you do, definitely put the wheels in the hover position so you don't, woohoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because they spin, right?
They spin. It rolls just fine. It's a rolling
It's
chassis.
a real car.
It's a real car.
It's a real car. Come on. It was definitely a surprise. An absolute surprise and a delight. I will say that too. It's like
Delayrean.
I did not see that coming. I expected some cool piece of gear. I did not expect a cool piece of gear to be in a diecast DeLorean time machine.
And by the way, he does have another version in the same casing that has a reverb called the Revlorian. There's some very interesting pedals he makes, and they may have to make more appearances because, man, oh man, I'm impressed in every way. And, price-wise, build-wise,
I can't believe
appearance,
it's under $200.
The sound, the way it works. There's not one thing I don't like about it.
Nor I.
Yeah, that's hard thing to get.
That gets the
official Gear and Gigs seal of approval. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a special thing.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for this special episode, and hope you enjoyed it as much as we clearly did.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time. For Reggie Elson, I'm Jet Stone. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Gear and Gigs. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, YouTube. Until next time, this is Jet Stone saying, take it easy.